What's up? It's your boy Mikeyyywill here. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Everything helps. Drop some likes, drop some comments. But we're about to show you guys how to put a little wheelie light on your ground. You'll need a couple things. You'll need to get some wire. That looks like, I don't know, 14 or 16 gauge. You're going to need one of these light switches from Amazon. That's, I don't know, like $8. $8 I think for like a 2-pack, but I used the other one on the electric quad. You're probably going to want to use some heat shrink, let alone with some of these little crimp connectors for the battery. You'll need something to take these bolts off, and you're obviously going to need a Grom diesel. So let's get started. Alright, so let's start by taking this. We're going to do the top bolts. Oh, wrong way. Alright. Alright. Don't do it that hard because I might have stripped the bolt. Gonna put this through mill. Come on. Get the bolt through the hole. Yeah. Split regular washer. Split washer. And the nut. Of everything. Put this little joint on. Make sure that thing stays snug. Alright, that looks pretty G. So now you're about to go to the back of the bike. Where's the little keyhole at? Alright, it's on this side. Take the seat off. You guys know what to do. Locate the battery. Positive, negative, hold up, positive, negative. It says right here the plus is, crap. Positive is, the plus is for positive, the negative is for, or the minus is for negative. The locations are, find the spot where you want to mount this little light. So you're going to unscrew the little back. Hold up, it's not going to work. Let's grab this. Alright, here we go. Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit easier to do it upside down. Ooh. Just so you can get like the bolts going and stuff before you start getting all crazy and having it fall down, all this other malarkey. Oh, too tight. Tighten up. Alright, there we go. Alright. From here, you're going to put this little red lead to, I don't know if you can see that. See that little green lead back there? That's where it goes. The green is actually negative, but this is like a basic switch, so there's no accessory wire and stuff like that. And the negative of the light itself goes straight to the negative right here, the negative on the battery. And so what you would do with that original red wire from here, you just connect it to the green. I'm actually going to solder that in, and you just run that the red wire that comes, that's over here. Yeah, that red wire, you're going to run that all the way back to the positive. So let's get that going. Got me some wire cutters. I'm cutting these off because I'm not using the bullet connectors. But if you do have bullet connectors, I'm sure this would be a lot easier. I don't know. I don't want to keep going back and forth with these things. Yep. Just, well, I'll show you a couple ways. You can, well, I'm only going to show you this one way, but you can, like, use scissors, some type of, like, not like needle nose pliers, but some type of, like the cutting pliers, but, like, don't cut too hard. Just do a little circle. Let's say like this, like, even with this you can do it. You just do a little circle, get that line, and you can probably pull it off, but you just don't want to cut too much off because these leads are pretty short, or you'll be adding more wire. That's what the extra wire is for. So from here, gone. From here, gone. Gonna grab yourself some 60-40 soldering iron. You're gonna want to pre-tin up these little wires. Be careful not to burn anything, especially like your brake lines or anything. Let's move that back a little bit. This is called pre-tinning. You just do this just to get the wires a little more prepped with solder on them, so you can like stick them together easily. It's okay if a little bit drips off. Alright, now you gotta get the other ones, the ones that are going to the switch. The smaller the wire, the easier it is to tin up, by the way. I'm gonna grab that heat shrink. That red goes to the red from the light. Well, this is the load or anything you want to call it. Goes to this green. Well, you can't see, but it does go to the green wire. Alright, grab your soldering iron. Give it a good grip. Do not burn yourself. Like I said, you could do this with like ordinary butt connectors. Let me just bend this a little bit because it's making it hard for the light lead. Yep, you know it's a good connection when you can pull it every way and it doesn't do any crazy Johnson, you know? Alright, now this is where the wire comes into play. We are going to, this is this conductor wire, there's two gauges in here, there's a red and a black. We're going to drop this through. Alright. And just feed it out. Because you're going to kind of want this a little bit tighter, because you don't want this wire to melt. Or you can use like a loom, but like at the same time that loom might melt. If you're going on long rides with Groms, if you're doing wheelies all the time, you're probably not. Maybe. So yeah, so you're gonna get here. We're gonna need a little bit more. Get there, and I'll show you what we do next. Alright, from here, strip back a section of the wire with the crimps. What do you got? These things were like, I don't know, 20 bucks at AutoZone. Got these things like, I don't know how many years ago. I use them all the time though. So, same thing. Pull that off. Pull that off. Alright, we're gonna pre-tin. Oh. Put my leg on a rock. That hurt there, boys. Pretend these wires up real quick. Yep. Don't forget the heat shrink, because if you don't got heat shrink, electrical tape's fine. Just make sure you connect everything thoroughly. And then just goes on like that, and you hit it with a heat gun, lighter, hair dryer, whatever you guys got. So you would, from here, you're going to want to line this up close as you can to the existing black wire. The black wire that goes to the light. Alright, we got the heat shrink on. As you can pull this tighter. Yeah, you can pull this tighter with the extra wire. So we're gonna solder this. Soldering doesn't take that long. It's just, you just gotta get that solder moving, move it back and forth a little bit. Now we're doing the positive lead that goes to the red of the switch. Make sure you pull them, get that tug test in. Tug test. But yeah, you pull them tight, you know, because you got the heat shrink on, everything's good. That's what all the solder joints look like. Mint. Mint, mint. Alright. Soldered up and heat shrunk. You're going to pull the wire, obviously, so it's not super tight, but snug. And you're going to measure your wire to about, I guess, say, maybe here's about good, because you're going to cut the ends off and stuff like that. And let's get cracking. Sometimes I cut it a little extra long, just in case, like, I've made a terrible mistake and need to adjust something. Crap. I hate when that happens. Come on. I call this one the double crimp. Now this is where these little johnnies come into play. You gotta find the one that's the right size, which in this case is let's go with these. Yeah, these are good. Yeah, let's go with this little size. And okay, so what we're gonna do here is take these johnnies, put this on. This is obviously for a way bigger gauge, but we're gonna make it work because this is where the double. Oh, where's my crimpers? The double crimp soldered special. Alright, that looks pretty good and snug on there. Let's get the positive. And guys, when you connect this to the battery, make sure your switch is off, because you could see sparks or startle yourself, or worse, fry the battery, or even worse, fry everything. So just make sure you have it off. Even though this is a low watt system, you could still get yourself in a terrible situation. Let's crimp these joints. Alright. Alright, now this is where The soldering iron comes into play for the double trouble crimp dizzle. Oh wait, this thing's not on. I usually also have it set to like max, because it makes the solder way easier to move. Come on, here we go. I usually just angle it down so that solder wants to flow down into it. Try not to keep too much solder near the tip of that. Let's do the same thing over here, just so we're ensuring if the crimp was bad, the solder joint would hold up, and if the solder joint was bad, the crimp would hold up. This is definitely a little bit excessive, but I haven't had one break by doing this. And that thing is blazing hot. Got it though. Let that cool down for a second before you put everything. Now, this part is extremely important, but simple at the same time. It's definitely easy to mess up. You're going to take the bolt out. Make sure positive goes to the plus, the red wire. Let's put this bolt in first. I usually put the accessory wires on top because I don't want the load to ever get in the way. Alright, got these joints on. Alright, cover those joints backs. Beep. Since we connected it straight to, oh, that was bad business. Since we connected it straight to the battery, look at this. Beep. Let's go. But make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, drop some comments, drop everything. I appreciate everything. Thank you for watching. Peace. Alright, this is what it looks like while it's on. Nice and bright. Because I don't want to blind people, I just want to be able to see where I'm going.